Hey, good afternoon. Today I'd like to talk about the prone quad stretch or the prone quadriceps stretch. The quadriceps muscle group is on the front of the thigh and it controls the motion of the hip and knee joints. And so for this reason it's important to stretch it. I'm going to describe a prone technique that actually has two phases. The quadriceps muscle group has four muscles, quad means four. One of those muscles crosses the hip. So after the beginning phase, after the first phase, we're going to do a second phase that involves hip motion. And so to do this, we actually do need a little bit of equipment. Most people are not going to be able to just reach back and grab their foot to do this stretch. And so I'm going to demonstrate using what we call a stretch out strap. This strap itself does not stretch. It's designed to stretch muscles, so this is a very inextensible strap. And it has these loops along it to be able to grab at distances along the strap. And so we get into a prone position and then get the end of the strap right at the ankle joint. And now this is the beauty of this strap here. It's not that you need one of these, but I'm going to use it to my advantage here. And I have my optimal arm length to generate a lot of force. Before I put a bunch of force on it, I want to make sure that my leg is in a position that I would normally be in for running or walking, more or less pretty close to your other knee. And then you want to just put some force on it, put some load through it, and gently stretch. And you ought to be able, as you do this, as you maintain this stretch, it's a static stretch, maintain it long enough to actually progress your heel such that it travels toward your butt. And they actually, at the end of it, if you get once you get flexible enough to just grab it, you should be able to, with successive sessions, be able to touch your heel toward your butt, touch your heel to your butt. So that is the first phase of this stretch. The second phase involves making sure that your front part of in this case my left hip, is actually fully in contact with the floor. So I want to think of actually pushing my left hip into the floor, and that makes sure that I'm maximally extended there. And then the other part of this second phase is to actively lift the knee while keeping that front part of the hip in contact with the floor. So there's not much motion that you can see on the video. My knee actually goes up only when I kind of cheat a little bit. But you want to make sure that you have your hip in contact with the floor at all times when you do this. And then you can get that other part, that final stretch, to the part of the quadriceps that crosses the hip. The other way that you can do that final part is as a passive stretch, is to put a small towel roll underneath the thigh, just near the knee. So if we go ahead and take a towel roll here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and get into that same position and just put it where it's not right so that the kneecap is not on it, but that it's just above, the towel is just above the kneecap. And so then that puts the hip in a slight extended position, and then I can go ahead and put the stretch through the rest of the quad muscle as well. So that is the prone quad stretch.